All right, last slide. Let's talk about the collapse of the empires during this time period. In 14th century Mesoamerica, a new empire rose, the Aztec. We've talked about them and their capital, Tenochtitlan, which was situated in the middle of Lake Texcoco. Their unique farming method of human-made floating islands. The Aztec Empire expanded through conquest and demanded tribute from the vanquished peoples, which we've talked about. However, little effort was made to assimilate the conquered groups into the empire as long as tribute and trade goods flowed into the Aztec treasury. Trade was an important part of Aztec society, with precious metals, feathers, food, and people for sale in large marketplaces. They claimed to be descended from gods, or the rulers claimed to be descended from gods, so government and religion was very intertwined. Not unlike ancient Egypt, human sacrifice was a vital part of Aztec faith, and the belief that the gods needed human blood to ensure that the sun rose every day. So slaves and captured enemy warriors were frequently offered up in these blood sacrifices, creating the never-ending need for human subjects. By the early 16th century, the Aztecs faced internal pressures due to unrest stirring among the conquered people of the empire, who were increasingly angry about the high degree of tribute that in turn caused them economic hardship. At the same time, outside pressure was forcefully applied with the arrival of Spanish conquistadors and their superior weapons and desire for gold. The Aztecs crumbled astonishingly fast. The largest empire of the Americas before the arrival of the Europeans was governed by the Inca from their capital Cuzco and the Andes Mountains. They lasted for about 100 years, from the mid-15th to the mid-16th century. And the Inca Empire stretched along most of the Pacific coast of South America. Like the Aztecs, they expanded their empire through military conquest and the tribute they demanded from the people they defeated. They too had an emperor who claimed to be descended from gods. But unlike the Aztecs, they incorporated the vanquished people into the empire, requiring, for example, that they learn the Incan language. Under the Incan system, all land, food, and manufactured products were owned by the government, and the people were required to contribute a portion of their goods to the government for redistribution by the large Inca bureaucracy, and they refer to this as Inca socialism. One of the most interesting features of Incan civilization was their record-keeping system on knotted strings known as quipu. This accounting system kept by the government bureaucracy was based on the number and position of knots and the color of the strings and the cords. But like the Aztecs, the Incans were facing internal strife when the Spanish arrived in the 1530s. A civil war for control of the throne was raging, and about the same time smallpox began to decimate the population. These stresses made the empire susceptible to outside invasion, and it came in the form of less than 200 well-armed conquistadors. The emperor was killed, and the age of the Inca Empire was over. Now the Byzantines. After centuries of warfare with Muslim forces, the Byzantine Empire had been reduced to only the great cultural and trading center of Constantinople. In 1453, its defenders succumbed to superior forces from the Ottoman Empire, ending a civilization that had existed on its own since the fall of Rome in 1476, and as part of the Roman Empire for almost half of a millennium before that. The greatest symbol of the transfer of power from the Christians to the Muslims in Constantinople or Istanbul was the Hagia Sophia, an Eastern Orthodox Christian church which was converted to a mosque. And the Hagia Sophia's blending of Greek Orthodox and Islamic architecture is the kind of example that of cultural borrowing that the AP World History test developers get excited about and often ask questions about. So that's it for 4.3.